Shit, man. We'll get into this last one. We got. Come on,
Bet
fucking Mac.
Mac. What's his name? Malcolm John McCormick or something like that. I don't even
Malcolm
know.
McCormick. Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
his name used to be Easy Mac. Before he was Mac Miller.
it did. You know, this dude got in there. He was like a legitimately popular rapper at like 16.
Yeah, yeah. He's got a really
That's,
cool story, actually.
I don't know the whole thing, but he reminds me when I watched this thing on Fader. It was a 12-minute documentary on him, and it started kind of showing his early days. And he's another one of these cautionary tales we talked about, like with Daniel Bergoli.
Yeah.
He's another dude that's he's tiptoeing on the edge, and he made a statement in this documentary where he goes, "Well, I'm lit. I'm always gonna be lit. I'm always, I drink, I party." He's like, "But I can control it now. I have." And I was thinking, I'm like, yeah, I
That
don't.
sounds like addiction and shit talking.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know that I believe you. You know what I mean?
How
Like,
old is Mac?
25 now, I believe. So
Damn, he's
he's
my
still,
age.
yeah, he's still a fairly young dude for sure.
Because I was about
Yeah.
to, yeah, I remember the song that I actually really remember liking with him was the one he did with Schoolboy Q, and I remember that came out like in probably like 2011 or some shit.
Mac Miller is actually he's a very dope artist. Like, I forgot how much of his catalog I actually know and
He's
like.
got bars, you can't say it, and he got better as time went on. I think like when he was new when he had like a best day ever and all that shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
and
it
it's
was
the
like
best day ever. Yeah, he was a real little kid when he was making
yeah.
them.
Yeah, and no one forgets. Like he says he won't play it live. I think he should take it down from YouTube. Is the Donald Trump song?
Yeah, I love that song.
That song's catchy.
Yeah, to me it's a good track. But the thing about Mac Miller that I realized is that I didn't understand how much hate he got. I mean, I guess he had a lot of people hating on him because he kind of, we were just kind of talking about inclusion in hip hop and a lot more rappers from different backgrounds and things like that. I was just thinking after Eminem, I can't think of another super relevant rapper, white rapper specifically, before Mac Miller.
I really
Can
can't
you?
either. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think Mac Miller.
Yeah.
After him, there was a lot Macklemore, and then
Well, Mac Miller's been around a while, but he didn't have
he
like
didn't
popular.
blow till that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Who
I don't know. I'm
I
gonna have
feel
to
like we're
research.
missing somebody. You know what? There were popular white rappers, but I feel like they're like not part of the culture, like atmosphere
Hey,
and
why you
shit.
got to think of do a quick search? And by the way, that's Mac Miller's truck that he crashed into a pole
Damn.
after he broke up with Ariana Grande. But do a quick search to see like popular white rappers after Eminem or something like that, and see if it. Because I just don't feel like, and my point with this is that a lot of his drug issues have come from the fact that he's been
Paul
criticized.
Wall. We're forgetting
Paul
Paul Wall.
Wall's
Paul Wall. And Paul
Paul
Wall
Wall is
is like one of the
yeah,
best white rappers of all time.
yeah,
And
Paul
he's a
Wall.
really good rapper too. I don't want to just give him a qualifier.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm glad you did that. That was
Yeah.
very. Hold on, but why'd you close the list? I want to see who else
Oh
is on
shit,
there.
my bad. He wasn't even on the list. He just came in my head. I was like, how do I forget Paul Wall?
Yeah, Paul Wall. That was a good one. Yeah, let's see what that one says. Because I'm just curious. Let's see.
Yeah, atmosphere.
ASAP Rock is dope. Yeah, ASAP Rock is dope. Ill Bill. So these are more underground type artists.
Yeah,
I
these
know
aren't
Ill
even
Bill.
Vinny Paz. I don't know who that is.
I know
Yellow
Vinny.
Wolf. Yellow Wolf's pretty big.
Yeah, because those first three are like New York kind of grimy underground MCs. The Vinny Paz, Ill Bill, Jedi Mind Tricks. Yeah. So I know those
Action
guys.
Bronson. That's way later though. Action
Yeah,
Bronson's dope.
yeah. Action Bronson though. He sounds too much like Ghostface to me though. I feel like he's
He
totally.
does sound like Ghostface. He got better as it went on. I didn't know RA was white.
Yeah. He's another LP is dope.
LP's dope.
But like I'm saying, none of these dudes. Brother Ali is real dope.
Brother Ali's crazy.
But
But they're not
um,
huge.
exactly. So that's my point. I think like
Paul Wall's the only one. Paul Wall was really big.
part of the problem that Macklemore had, he talked about this on this documentary. He said it like 4 or 5 times. Is he just didn't understand why he was catching so much flack. And I was really thinking, oh, Machine Gun Kelly is one. Now he was
Yeah.
pretty popular.
Yeah, he was pretty popular. He's still kind
Uh,
of popular.
yeah. But he still didn't take the heat. I don't know why they came after Mac Miller like that, but he caught a lot of flack, and they said he was kind of fake, and I guess they didn't believe him and things like that. Um, I never understood why. I mean, maybe they thought he was corny because of the tattoos and stuff. And
I
I
mean,
remember
I
asking
think I think it's kind of also like
Bubba Sparks. That's one.
I never even I've seen his name on shit, but I've never.
You ever heard of Bubba Sparks?
Nah, I never checked out Bubba Sparks. That's it.
Wow. Wow. That's deep. He's good. He's dope.
There's a who. There's a white rapper right now that I really like. I can't remember who it is. I'm like, how is he not up here? Because it's kind of big. Fuck, I'm spaced on him. But anyways, um, back on Mac Miller. I think a big part of it is actually kind of like how I put it. Like he was the first one, like we said, in a long time to be cool. And the thing about like I think Paul Wall, you almost kind of forget him because you know what's funny is on that list. That list, like anybody can vote on that. It's a ranker list, so it's
Right.
literally just like that's popular opinion of people looking up that thing, finding. So you got to Google white rappers and then vote. And Paul Wall's on that list, even though I know he's probably like in the top 5 of best selling. And it's because I think Paul Wall had a pretty black audience. So and they're not, and they weren't concerned with his whiteness because he wasn't like rapping about being white or anything. He's in
Yeah,
Houston
you
shit.
man, you've been making some awesome points, man. You're on your game tonight. Yeah, no, that's true. Because people like black folks embrace Paul Wall like crazy. And when you look at Mac Miller and you look at Paul Wall, you feel a lot less like Paul Wall was kind of maybe stealing the culture as much. I think with Mac Miller, people looked at him and were like,
He was
"I'm not."
reappropriating it and changing it, kind of.
I don't know that he was doing that. I think that's how people took it for whatever reason.
Right,
And
right.
I think they felt like he was kind of corny because some of the stuff he rapped about early on was a little
I
corny.
think it's corny to say shit like in that song I like with him and Schoolboy Q. I actually like love his whole verse, and but I always think it's corny to have a line like he says a line like I ain't from the streets, but I'll grill you from the porch. Like, just don't talk about like you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Avoid it. Just stay away from it. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, just
yeah,
don't talk about being suburban or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, and I think that's what because you're so on point about the Paul Wall thing. You're right. He and like it didn't seem inauthentic. I think some people felt like Mac Miller was inauthentic. You
he
know,
was
and you
reaching a little
talked about
bit.
that earlier. Like you can't do that. You know, and
But I do
it
think
sounds
Mac Miller
like
was just being himself. Is the cool thing about him. I do
yeah.
believe that.
Yeah, and I think that people started to realize that over time, and he got addicted to lean pretty bad. He got kind of fat, like
Yeah, he did. He got fat. I remember that.
yeah, and he actually lost his MTV show because he was addicted to lean, because and he started gaining weight, and he didn't want to be seen as fat, and he was saying he stopped doing the show because of it. Um, which do you have you tried it? I've never had lean. I don't know
Bro,
that I
I,
would.
I was telling Evan the other day I need to sip lean because we have that beat and the sample the sample G Money sent me was called Bodine Brazy, so I called the beat Bodine Brazy, and then I was like, this gotta be a lean song, and I gotta sip some lean so I can find out what it's like. I listen to too
Be
much Lil
careful,
Wayne
man.
to
That's
not.
the people be getting hooked, boy. People get hooked
I
on
don't
that
have
stuff.
enough money and the access to it, so I think I'd be like, if I liked the lot, it'd be like I'd never find.
There, there's a dude on my Instagram. He's an AZ rapper. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want him to think I'm disrespecting him or anything. But he sips a lot of lean, and I'd be like, you know, I don't even really know the dude, but I'd be wanting to be on some Big Brother shit. Like, hey, bro, like, chill.
Yeah, like
You
how much are you
know,
spending on
like,
that lean? Because it's expensive.
it's expensive and like it's horrible for your health. I mean, not a lot of
It's
drugs are
liquid
good for you.
heroin.
Liquid what? Yeah, yeah. It messes up your, you know, it messes up your brain function. Like you, that's why Lil Wayne had like 18 seizures that one year because
Bro, no
that's
one like no one wants to talk about it that Lil Wayne has a problem, man. Like he's almost fucking died so many times, and a lot of these guys have because they like remember Gucci Mane?
yeah.
Remember when he was all fat? That was not even like fat too. It was like turds in his belly because you get constipated.
Well, and the same thing with Rick Ross. They just found him face down in his mansion. You know, he almost died. Like
Bro,
I
he
think.
is fucking like he should not be doing that, bro. He's too big to be fucking doing that.
Well, and the thing I liked about Mac Miller, if you get a chance, you should watch it. It's only 12 minutes, so you can watch it real quick. But the thing I like about him is he's honest about the drugs hold on him. I mean, it's kind of sad that he doesn't address it, but he's honest about it, and he says he actually loves it. Like he's like, I love lean, and it's kind of like a sad deal, but I just appreciated that how
He's
honest he
just being
was
real
about it.
about it.
Yeah, and a lot of people trying to act like they don't have issues. Like he's pretty open about the fact that And I'm sad that he lost his girl too, because I feel like
I thought him and Ariana were actually pretty good for each other.
well, and I think she was saying, I don't know if you saw the thing today where like a fan tried to attack her, basically saying like it's messed up. Mac Miller made a whole album about you, and here and then just to find out a
Right.
little later that you broke up with him, and now you're seeing somebody else or something. And then she was like, "Bro, yeah, there you go. You trying to minimize my self worth because I saying I should stay in a bad relationship, a toxic relationship. See, she's like, I'm not a babysitter or a mother. I cared for him, tried to support him, and I believe all of this because they were together for like 2.5 years.
Yeah,
It wasn't
minute.
like yeah, it wasn't like it was just a a 6 month relationship. Like she put in work. So
And
I'm
he
proud
was
of
like,
her. Well, so go ahead.
"Oh no, you're proud of her."
Yeah, because if he was really that toxic for her, number one, she stayed down for him. And
Right.
number two, like at the end of the day, if it's harming you, you shouldn't be in the relationship. So I have a lot of respect for what she did if she felt like this dude is gonna destroy my life. I can't be a part of it. Like I respect that a lot. You got to do what you got to do. Take care of yourself. I mean, you can't destroy yourself for somebody else.
Can't. It just doesn't work.
Right.
It's
So
got to be
I
a two
thought
way
it was
street. And
yeah,
that's
man.
also just like that's a fan being like painting like this image in their head, like you just did all this for. She wrote that album 2 years ago, and you can't just. He wrote that album, so you have to be with him. Like I don't.
And that's
What the.
what and a lot of these topics that we talk about, I send to Angelica, I send to her so she can like, because I like her opinion too, especially from a woman's point of view. And she said the same thing. She's like, "So you wrote some songs, so I'm supposed to just be with you forever?"
Yeah.
Like,
What
you
the
know what I
fuck?
mean? Like, okay,
Yeah, they don't mean
Uh,
nothing. Like I don't know. Like I would tell you, I would say this. Like we don't know what happened, but uh, I would assume that being who Mac Miller is, and a person that like parties all the time and is doing drugs and sipping lean, he's also probably cheating on her. I'm gonna be real. Like I mean, like when we found out Jay-Z was cheating on Beyonce, I was like, I could have told you that. Like, you know what I mean?
you
Like
know what though? I don't. I mean, he might have slipped up, but I feel like he was probably actually pretty loyal to her. I mean,
pretty
as being a
loyal.
rapper who goes to a dozen cities in a month and likes to party, you're right. I'd be shocked if he didn't do some things. But on the scale of like super hoe, I don't think he was
Yeah.
doing it like that. I think he might have done a couple things, and that's probably what caused him to break up. He probably had slipped up once or twice, and then this last time he probably slipped up, and she was like, "You drinking all the time, you partying now, you hitting chicks too. I'm good." You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, but I have a feeling he was more loyal than most. I do believe that for some reason. I don't even know why,
I
but I
feel like
feel
they were kind of like a gooder relationship. I don't know. Like I remember they did that video before they started dating. The way they did that
yeah.
song, and then they kissed in the video. And I remember she was on an interview on the Breakfast Club, and they were like, okay, like grilling her on it, and they're like, rate like Mac Miller's kissing on like a 1 out of 10. And like, cause they're like, oh, do you like him? All this other shit, and she was like, no, stop, blah blah blah. But you could tell that she kind of did. And then she said, oh, he's a 1 because he smokes. But I remember that was like right when she was starting to get famous, and I think she's bigger than Mac now, but before she wasn't. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I think in a
Right.
way she's probably kind of starstruck by him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and she seems like the type of person because I remember she was like with Big Sean for a little bit after he broke up with the girl. She strikes me like you said as somebody who like looks up to a guy almost like looks
Right.
to them to be like the father figure or something. I don't know. I definitely see what you're saying though. I think she was kind of seeing him through. You know what blows my mind though? Just a quick sidebar. She looks like a child to me. I
She
can't
looks so.
understand how these dudes like I'd be so uncomfortable. Like you look like a 11-year-old girl. I'm good. I'm set.
My homie is like all obsessed with her, and he's like a big dude. Like, like he's like you know what I mean? Like with deep
And
voice and
she
everything. He's
and I
he
ain't
thinks
trying to
she's
be
so
like.
hot.
I mean, I like girls with a little more body anyway. Like for me, that like I said, it just
Yeah,
reminds me
she's
of.
too thin for me. I'll tell you that.
It's just like she's very pretty, but she's pretty to me in like the same way that a little girl is pretty, not like a woman. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Right, I'm
It's
not gonna like front and be like, oh, I don't find her attractive at all
right,
or anything like that. But I
right.
would say like I don't know, like she's got a very pretty face, and I think that's mostly what like she's going off of. And she can sing too, and she's cool, she's sexy, but
But
like
she would have to like just be able to talk intelligent. Like she'd have to have a elevated conversation for me. Cause like when I look at her, I see a child.
yeah,
I don't know, man.
she got
Maybe
like
it's
one of
just
them
something
little
about
like
him.
dancer ballerina bodies.
Yeah, and that I think of little kids when I
Right.
like I don't
No, I
think
see
of
you.
women when I see like that. So
Yeah,
I
she
don't know.
doesn't look as womanly. I don't know, and I think that's kind of like I don't want to say guys that like her are pervy, but I think guys are nastier than girls, man.
No,
I don't
let's
care what
be
anybody
honest.
says.
Yeah, we know. Let's be honest. There's a
Yeah,
lot of dudes that like her exactly for that reason.
yeah,
I
they
am
think
not one of
she's youthful, and that's what they like. So yeah, I don't know. I
them.
totally feel that same way.